In the last 10 years, the new gin craze has spread all over the world. And for a gin lover like me, it is amazing to learn and not least taste new and exciting cultures through the language of gin. So, let me take you on an amazing journey to Chile. Hi guys, and welcome to High on Gin. What started as a gin revolution primarily in Europe has now spread all over the world. One of the new continents that has started to really embrace gin and incorporate new and unfamiliar botanicals is South America. Chile is totally new to me when it comes to gin. You know, I know so little about this country and of its botanicals. So I thought it could be so much fun to try something new, broaden our gin horizon, and take a closer look at some of their local gins. And Chile is one of the longest countries in the world. It's 4,270 kilometers long. That is the same distance as if you went from the most northern tip of Denmark and all the way to Kuwait in the Persian Gulf. And because it's so long, there is a wide variety of climates. Desert, but mild in the north. You got Mediterranean at the center. You got oceanic in the south, and cold in the Andes Mountains. And all this means that there is basis for some very exciting botanicals and some very, very different and interesting gins. Today I will take a closer look at 3 different gins, as I said, from Chile, with more than 2,000 kilometers between the distilleries. I'm going to take a look at this spicy gin Nativo from Atacama. This one here, the full-bodied Carpintero Negro from Lampa. And then this citrus-led Tepaluma Gin from La Junta in the south. But let's start in the north. Let's start with Gin Nativo. This one here is made and distilled only by women in the driest desert in the world. It only rains between 12 and 18 millimeters of rain every year in average. I mean, it's believed that some places in the desert haven't seen rain in the last 500 years. I mean, as a comparison, in Denmark we have something like 750 millimeters of rain every year. But despite this inhospitable desert area, you know, that probably reminds you mostly of the moon, there is a much more diverse nature in the Atacama region than you would probably think. The Huasco Valley, where the distillery is located, is called the Garden of Atacama, a true oasis. And Gin Nativo is based on a grape and corn-based alcohol, and there are 13 different botanicals in the gin. All of them are collected locally by these women. Among them, they use juniper, of course. They use the local moly, or these little berries from the pepper tree. They use nipa, this beautiful local flower. And then they use ají peppers, these small native spicy chili peppers. And paicho, that is an aromatic and medicinal herb. The result is this more deep gin, and with that I mean it has, you know, really body and character. It's very clear that the use of these dominant and spicy botanicals really shows in the gin. But to make sure that they don't become too dominant and that the chili doesn't provide too much heat, they have very cleverly watered the gin down to 39% ABV, so it doesn't become too much, but it becomes more balanced. And you really get the chili, which makes it fun to enjoy neat. But it becomes even more fun in a super delicious gin mule with lots of mint and lime juice and ginger beer. So you build on the heat in the gin and the heat in the ginger beer. Or you could make a very fun gin and tonic with a classic Indian tonic and then add chili as garnish. I mean, if you are a true chili fan and you love the hint of heat, this one here, that's definitely for you. If we go further south, we come to the town of Lampa and to Carpintero Negro. And Lampa is situated near the Chicama mountain range, of which a part was added to the La Campana National Park. And this park is one of the most unique and representative areas of the country's central zone. The name Carpintero Negro translates into black carpenter and is the name of a beautiful black and red and white woodpecker. It is the largest South American woodpecker and one of the largest woodpeckers in the world. And the distillery cares a lot about this magnificent bird. So every time you buy a bottle of this gin here, a part of the profit goes directly to the replantation of trees to recreate the bird's natural habitat through an organization that has planted more than 1 million trees in Chile so far. And the gin here, well, it's also made with 13 botanicals, and among them they are botanicals like the Mackay berry and the Calafate berry. Let's take a closer look at those two. The Mackay berry is often marketed as this superfruit due to its high antioxidant content and potential health benefits, including reduced inflammation, blood sugar control, and healthy heart, right? Healthy gin, you may maybe add to this one. The Mackay, well, it looks like a mini blueberry. It has a taste a bit like blackberries with this balanced sweet and tart notes with some earthiness to it. And then there is the Calafate berry. This one also looks a little bit like a blueberry. The sweet and sour taste is loved by the Chilean people. They are pretty tough to pick though because of the spines on the bushes. The berries are used to prepare sweets, juices, fermented beverages, and liquors, and now also used in gin. And there is a legend connected to the Calafate berry. Listen to this one here. You see, when the Selknam people lived in the Patagonian region, they were divided into tribes, and two of them were in great conflict. And one of the chiefs had a son, and the other one had a beautiful daughter called Calafate. And fate would have it that these young people fell madly in love. And the chiefs were, really trying to keep them apart. And when one of the chiefs found out that the young lovers were planning to run off together, he believed that his daughter were possessed by the evil spirit of Gailisho, and therefore commanded his shaman to turn Calafate into a bush with blooming yellow flowers to match her golden eyes. And as a final blow to their love, the bush were filled with spiky thorns, which meant that the young man could only look at his beloved, but never touch her. Heartbroken, this young man perished. And the shaman took pity on them and turned the yellow flowers into purple berries that represented the man's heart, so that the two could stay together. What a story, right? I mean, every bottle of this gin here, it really has a little Calafate berry down here. And that is also why this gin is colored slightly pink. So I guess you can call this a lover's gin. The result, well, it is this very delicious and smooth and slightly herbaceous and slightly sweet gin. The feel in your mouth is slightly silky and soft. It's a gin that uses, more traditional botanicals like coriander seed and ginger and cardamom and citrus fruit, but the two local botanicals really gives this sweeter and exotic, spicy touch to the gin. It has a lot of character and body, this gin here. And because it has, this great character too, it's simply perfect with a fever tree aromatic tonic that also has this strong personality, so to say. And if you prefer a sweeter and more fruity gin and tonic, use a rhubarb and raspberry tonic. And this gin and tonic, it almost tastes like there's strawberries in it when you get it. And if you prefer, or if you really love a spicy and more herbaceous Negroni, this gin here is perfect for that. So there's so many different ways that you can use this gin here. Lastly, we have this one here, the Tepaluma Gin. The distillery is located just south of La Junta. And here we find the world's southernmost rainforest. There are 14 botanicals in this gin here, and 7 of them are very local botanicals. To name some of them, they are botanicals like tepa leaves that adds this flavor similar to lime. There are luma berries that people here in Chile eat raw and use in marmalades, and also uses them in a fermented drink called chicha. There is arayan, also called the Chilean myrtle, that is this remarkable small tree with its fantastic shaped trunks and their luminous cinnamon-like bark. And this little tree grows some small edible purple sweet berries that is normally used for sauces and jam. And then they also use the calafate berry. And then, besides the local botanicals, they use 7 more traditional botanicals like angelica and orris root and lemons and pink grapefruit, just to name a few. Wow. You know, the smell of this gin, it is so inviting. You see, on one hand, you really get the classic elements in a gin. You know, like a really good classic citrus-led gin. And then it has this additional local touch to it. It's really hard to describe. It's like the citrus elements is, well, it's more refined, more complex. It is simply heavenly to smell. I suspect that it is the tepa tree that provides this additional layer to the gin, but since I have never seen the tree, I'm only guessing here. I love the fact that it is classic. It's a classic gin with its fresh and, freshness to it. And it has this cool local touch that I've never tried before. It's a bit like the first time when I tried a Four Pillars gin. It was familiar, but with this new and very inviting twist. When you taste the gin, you still get the citrus element, but you also get these herbal notes and this slightly warm peppery note from the Patagonian pepper. I drink this one here with a Mediterranean tonic and some lime zest, but you can easily go with a more classic Indian tonic and some lemon zest. The distillery is run by Mark from Liverpool in England and Andrea, who is born in Chile but was raised in Antwerp in Belgium. And the amazing story behind them is that they had this dream of making gin and whiskey from the purest ingredients possible to find in the middle of vast and vibrant nature. But they only saw this as a dream, as it made no sense because they had a very good life in Antwerp with their little daughter. But in 2008, the unthinkable happened. As Andrea was leaving work, she got hit by lightning. All of a sudden, she found herself on a hospital bed, hardly able to speak at all, while shaking heavily. And the family's life was forever changed, and years of difficult recovery work followed. And here is the amazing part. You know this famous German philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche and his quote, "That which does not kill us makes us stronger." Right? Well, for some people, that is just the case, because one day Mark and Andrea asked themselves, considering the odds of being hit by lightning, what else could happen to us? Really, what is the worst thing that could happen to us that couldn't happen to us in our current lives other than failing and having to start all over again? So they decided to go for it, make their dream come true, thousands of kilometers away from where the dream had started and where a lightning had literally sparked it. And I can only say, guys, I'm so glad that you did. This gin here, it is so good. It is so fresh and it is so vibrant. So, what is my verdict? Well, I am so pleased with these gins here. Seriously, they are exactly what I expected. Different in many ways, but still true to the origin, to gin. They give me a new look at this country and its local botanicals. It gives me new and exciting stories to explore and to tell. And the best part is that all of these gins here gives me great drinks. If you would like the heat from the chili, start with this one here, the Gin Nativo. If you like a more herbaceous gin, go with the Carpintero Negro Gin here. Or if you like a more citrus-centric gin, go for the Tepaluma Gin. You know, all of them, they really have this very unique twist. And do yourself a favor and upgrade your home bar with a new twist. Seriously. And here is a little tip for you to end this video. These gins here, they're all available online from the distillery, or here in Denmark you can get them on sites like ginbutikken.dk. But if you're in Jutland here in Denmark, go to the importer Margareta Wines just outside Viborg. This place is run by Margareta and her Danish husband Jens, and they are so passionate about, you know, her home country, Chile, about the products that they import, and to give everybody a good experience. They really do represent the best of Chile in the best possible way. Until next time.